All right, welcome everyone. This is a Viper Professional Training and Sport webinar. Today's date is Saturday, July the 16th, 2016. And the title of today's webinar is Let's Talk About the PowerMeter and how to use it. And as everyone knows that's been to our webinars or our live trading rooms, everything that we say and do at Viper Trading Systems is for educational purposes only. Futures trading, Forex trading, any kind of financial instrument trading involves risk. Therefore, there's always risk of loss. You should only trade discretionary capital, and that is money that you can afford to lose. Nothing said in this webinar. Other webinars we might have, our live trading rooms, or anything else with Viper Trading Systems should ever be construed as trading or investment advice. And as always, everyone does trade at their own sole discretion. Any questions on the disclaimer? If not, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to start today with basically the same black chart that I like to show on Wednesday nights a lot of time, because I want everybody to be able to see what I'm trying to do here to get you where you can see these trades on these charts. Okay, because it's super important to be able to see the trend. And I've talked about it in the past. There are 4 trends on your charts at any given moment. The micro trend, of course, you can be taking counter trends against the regular trend, but you got to be mindful of the fact that they can bounce really quick, or they can, of course, go down really quick if they happen to be the short side. So, you know, you want to always be careful with that. You get into your third trend though, which is my favorite. That's the one that'll tell you pretty much when the trend's going to change. Okay, and I think that one's pretty important. Okay, so we've all used this Lightning 3, you know, for about the past year and a half, I guess, when I put this out, because you can pretty much tell on your chart. I mean, I want to go over a couple of things before we get started, and I want everybody to kind of tell me by looking at this chart, even though you don't see any prices, and I'm going to give you a little hint too. I'm going to put Lightning 1 on here, okay? Now, Lightning 1 is actually the quickest swing strength. It's just simply 4 range bars. If they go up and then they go back down and they go back up again, it makes a little swing. So they can be very, very, you know, fast moving. But what I want everybody to see is where the trade could be setting up, okay? And I'm going to try to show you that also with this new PowerMeter, because, for instance, let's go over this first. Right now, and I just picked a date, so this is actually a couple of days ago on 6B. Okay, I don't even trade 6B. Well, I do trade the British pound, so, but not at 9 o'clock at night. Okay, so, but what I want everybody to do first off is tell me what direction this trend is in. And I hope nobody misses it, because, yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, and that's as basic as it gets, right? It's absolutely an uptrend. Now let me ask you a question. What would it take to make this a downtrend at this moment? Now we don't know what it's going to do for at least a little bit, but you know, where is Lightning 3? The swings on Lightning 3. Let's go ahead and draw those so we can see them. I'll do the control key, and let's just go ahead and draw Lightning 3. This is fine from down here. Hopefully I can draw Lightning 3. For some reason, I'm not drawing Lightning 3. What is the deal? Well, I can tell you where it's at. Let's just draw it. Oh, I know why it's not doing it, because the screen is paused, and it's got to have at least a tick for it to draw. Yeah, let's see. Now, if you were really looking at higher lows and higher highs like we're talking about, okay, of course, some people are saying that 13,405, is that what you mean, John? Like right under here, it would take that to break. And I also see, does anybody see another area that it could break and head down if it was to break it? Because what's the definition of a trend, of course? Higher lows and higher highs is an uptrend, and lower highs and lower lows is a downtrend. So I also see this right here as a very possible break. Now, more than likely, you're going to want to, either take a break out of it or you're going to want to wait for a little retracement. Okay. Now, that's what I see as breaking to head back down. Okay. Because Lightning 3 is pretty good at that. All right. Now, what do you see, though, as far as the retracement? Our prices are right up in here right now. Evidently, they are, because this is where Lightning 1 is. Where would this retrace to? Looking to the left to trade the right. Whereabouts do you think it would retrace to? $25. Okay. Do you see another one to the left that was a high? 28, right? Okay. Let's draw two lines then. There's 28 and there's 25. And I'm going to get rid of this one right here. Now, this would be, obviously, if this was going to really break down, it would definitely pop through it, come back and kiss this area. We won't even go into that right now. We're still in an uptrend. Okay. Now, I personally see that if it breaks this even, that it's pretty much going to be breaking for sure some kind of trend line, right? And could easily head down if it does. So I'd be conscious of the fact that even though this is heading up, with these higher lows and higher highs, at least so far, we don't even know where this is going to go ahead and end up putting a number again because it hasn't put it on here yet. But it will. It'll put a higher number if this does any kind of retracing of the 15 swing strength, okay? Because that's what we use on our Lightning 3. All right, so let's go ahead and since this is an uptrend, we know that if it does break this, we're going to probably be looking for some shorts, okay? But if it comes here or here, we're going to probably be looking for longs. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to come all the way back to these. That's one thing about trading that would be worth its weight in gold if it did. But we have another little indicator on here called the predictor that will pretty much tell you where the trade can be also. See there? You've got, well, your predictor's up here at, say, 40, and your predictor's right under here at, say, 27 even, and the middle of it is actually right about 32. So somewhere in here, they should bounce unless they go ahead and take out the support areas that they were resistance and then take it on down. And that could happen also. Okay, so let's go to a regular chart and see if we can nail this trade with the new scripts. You should be able to see 6B on the chart, on the screen that is, on the chart, okay? All right, so we basically diagnosed it as here. We diagnosed it as right here, didn't we? That was also a swing. And so we're looking for a trade that's going to come down here between those two lines. Now, notice that PowerMeter 1 and 2 are already short. That's not saying to short it. That's only saying that they're not holding Lightning 1 and Lightning 2. Okay? See how that's showing red? That's not saying to short the market. What PowerMeter is going to do, it's going to give you these micro trends like this, and it's going to let you know, that you're looking for, well, right now anyway, a retracement. Okay? Now, if 6B was to decide to break down below, some of these areas that we're looking at on our chart that are swings, let me make sure we've got this on not minute chart. Bear with me just a second. 4 range, okay. That's our Lightning 3. 4 range, Lightning 1. 4 range, Lightning 2. And then Lightning 4 should be your 12 range. 12 range. I've got that set at 3 strength, evidently. I usually do that at 5. Must have been playing around with it. But anyway, I guess that's good enough because that's going to be at least 30 ticks or so, and that's a pretty good little jaunt up or down. All right, so let's watch this and see if we can figure out when to get in this trade. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm not going to hit any order until I see that this has actually confirmed it over here. Now, don't know if it's going to go against us or not, but what I'm using this for right this very moment is a retracement. My power meter 3 is up, my power meter 4 is up, and that's your larger swings. So that's telling me right at this moment that we definitely have an uptrend. Okay, so let's play it and see if we can come up with something. See your little lightning red? Power meter went before that even did that, because the power meter does it in real time. Lightning is going to do it in real time very shortly also. Okay, let's see if we can get a little retracement on here. Now, obviously, you could buy this thing if it decides to break above here, but you've really only got up to here to try to get, and that's already a thrust. And we're not thrust traders, are we? Not normally. Let's see if we can get, watch that power meter, and let's see if we can get a little trade here. I've got it running on 10 times. Hopefully it won't go too fast. Okay, we're still power meter 1 and 2 down, right? Now we've got our lines drawn on our chart just like we do in the room. So we know about where this is going to retrace to, unless it decides to blow up through here. Nice and slow. I'll reset that lightning 3 too here if we get this next trade, because I have always used that lightning on 5. I was just playing around with the settings. Okay, still. Now, if you get into something like this and you want to actually go ahead and take a shot at the trade, it hadn't hit here yet though. You know, if you're a fast trader, what I call a fast trader, you're looking for a little bounce off of that swing there. And if you're a fast trader, you could go ahead and do this. That's pretty much it, isn't it? Okay. So if I was to hit buy like right now, obviously see it come down there right where we wanted it to and bounced. Now, this is one of the things I want to show you about this this indicator. This is not going to go positive green if this shoots up unless it makes a little swing. If it just goes straight up like it's trying to do right now, it will not give us what we want. And that's what I want to make sure everybody knows about PowerMeter, because PowerMeter simply does the swings. Okay? Now, if we get any kind of a 4-bar pullback, then we would obviously get the green. If this just goes straight up, we're not going to get it. Okay? Now, that's one thing I want to absolutely make clear to everybody. There's no zigzag. You see what I mean? That particular trade right there, I took simply based on, because we drew on our charts. But that is not PowerMeter. Now PowerMeter has actually changed to this color, but this is probably a little bit late, but let's just take a chance. We got PowerMeter 1 just went on. And let's see, we'll try to get up to at least here. That's the previous predictor. See if we can get something. PowerMeter said to. And the reason it did that is because it did finally take out this little swing here. Everybody see that? Even though that's basically when that changed is when it took out that little jot right there, because otherwise it didn't do that down here. So this type of a move, you're going to still have to trade like you've always been taught, okay? Because when it goes straight like this, it does not do this little zigzag effect. Why did PowerMeter 1 go green before PowerMeter 2? Well, PowerMeter 1 will go green before Power 2. PowerMeter 1 is actually the really quick swing settings. There we go, we got it. Okay, now let's watch and see if we get any kind of retracement at all. There's a little bit of one. Now watch and see when PowerMeter actually goes to the red color. If it does, it'll have to take out at least through here. Let's see if it does. It may just keep going up, and if so, we'll just have to wait for a retracement. See if we can get a a red one at all. Now everybody knows right now, obviously, that you don't want to just jump into, any kind of short trade or anything like that. And you also want to wait for a retracement, because a retracement is going to come. If you have a high here, a low here, and a high here, you expect this to actually hit its head. Well, to give an example, we checked here. How about checking here next? Everybody see that? Now that power meter, see, that just jumped off here. That's okay. See if we can get any kind of red at all. Now I'm playing this blindly, so this is actually going to do what it's going to do. What I like it for is when it does turn the red, and then you get into these nice retracements. And by the way, everybody I think knows that there's no way to make lightning do anything different than, obviously, lightning is zigzag, right? That's not a zigzag. But it did look to take out these little swings. So we still engineered it that way. See if we can get a red at all. Now we had a good trade. Everybody knows that ellipse trade. Could you jump on a trade like that pretty quick and get you a few ticks? Well, to me, I wouldn't even jump in this trade until at least tests right there. Because what did it do? It broke the floor, right, or ceiling there, and it's going to come back and check it as a floor. See if we can get a red meter at all. And by the way, if not, that just means that it's a really strong trend. You can just box it in. If we don't get any kind of a red pullback on this one, it's no big deal. Because you can still do the old box it in just like we taught for years. There we go. There's your power meter. All right, see, power meter 1 and 2 both went red at the same time. Doesn't mean short. Now, real quick on this chart, where are we looking for a short, though, if it does break? Well, isn't this our lightning 3? High, low, higher high. That's definitely going to be our medium trend, isn't it? So, for instance, I could actually be selling this. Matter of fact, you can use the region a different way. Let's just do it. Let's see if it works. If we get anything like this. That'll be the top of the box. And we'll just use the market orders up here instead, and we'll use object trader here if it happens to break down, okay? Now, as soon as we get a green power meter, we'll click long, but I'm also going to look for a short if it breaks this by, let's just give it even, say, 3 ticks, if it breaks that by 3 ticks. Everybody knows you can use these markets down here and still have this set, right? And by the way, I want to mention something else too real quick. One of our members brought this up to me, and this is not a flaw in Object Trader. If you disable Object Trader up here, it does not disable the entire thing. Object Trader is technically the object types. They're the regions, the rays, and all of that. Okay? So you can still fire market orders down here. Okay, watch power meter and see if we can get. We'll just go for, say, 3 contracts if we get it. Now notice that power meter 3 and 4 are green, so we're still looking for longs, right? We're not even in any kind of a short yet. Man, I picked a slow time in the evening, didn't I? Okay, still red, right? I'll watch it and see if it gets me a green one, and I'll click market. Or we'll get this. Sideways right now, right? Now, isn't this an area that you could box in that we teach? Let's see if we can just do it with a market order if it happens to give us a green power meter. Hopefully it doesn't just blow up there. And this could be automated. Yeah, that's a gorgeous, the exact type we teach, isn't it? I mean, you can tell what they're doing, can't you? They're going to give us a green meter here in just a second. Now, I'd truthfully already be in this trade more than likely. There we go. We just got a PowerMeter green, and I just clicked market order. Okay. We got our target right up here, like so. We'll see if we can get it. Now, see why I was looking for that just manually, because it won't fire automatically. I can get that to where it will with Object Trader. You know, if we all get this out here, test it and love it, and you want to have it fire with certain conditions, we can do that. Now, it seems like it'd be worth its weight in gold already, doesn't it? See how all 4 power meters are green now? Absolutely green. You like this, Mindy? Yeah, I think everybody will like this pretty well, actually, because, you know, the thing that you have to look at, you know, when you're getting a retracement is how deep is it going to go? I mean, this could have gone all the way down to here and still kept the trend in effect. So this meter would have stayed red, because I even get faked into trades, believe me. You know, I've gotten a trade and then end up getting better on the next one. It's what we call taking the second bite at the apple, but that first bite kind of hurts. Yeah, basically, Mindy, on this, yes, I have the Lightning 2 uh, here, Lightning 1 here, Lightning 3 here, and Lightning 4 here. And by the way, we designed this indicator for in the future to where if you want to even, you know, do something like a moving average or something like that, or a crossover type deal, you might be able to do like a 4th meter and do something like that even. I don't personally like that kind of trade myself, but, you know, I like the Lightning. I mean, to me, a trend is a trend. I mean, if you think about it, you're either going up or you're going down. Even when you're going sideways, you're still going up or down. Because when they hit resistance, they go down. When they hit support, they go back up. And that Lightning will keep you in pretty good fit for that. Now, let's watch and see if we can even counter trend this just a little bit with a Lightning. I'm going to strictly go for, say, 5 ticks. We'll watch the meter. That's a pretty good little trade, isn't it? PowerMeter confirmed it. Not bad. I do have it matching the meter. Now, you'll be able to change them if you want. In the little indicator itself, let me pause this for just a second so we don't accidentally see how our power meter's starting to change. You know, it could go, more than likely, I would say it wouldn't go much lower than right here, so I don't think I'd short this here. That's a double top. We want a thrust of some kind before we use power meter to short. Kind of like this one was back here. See where it thrust up? Short it, you could have gotten a few ticks, right? All right, let me show you a couple of things about it on the settings. Object Trader Lightning 1. Now, we've redesigned Lightning so it's totally different than what you've got. We've added a gradient multiplier because you can actually use a background if you want to. Okay, you can even set it to display a background. I highly wouldn't recommend displaying like Lightning 1. It would be like a striped shirt. You don't want, you know, any quick trends, because believe me, you're not going to make money doing that. You've got to stay trend specific to make money in trading. Okay, there's some counter trending that can be done after thrusts, but you want to pretty much stay with the trend of the market. Okay, so we've kept the hotkeys and everything just like it always has been. We have added a display background, and we do have the box where you can have it really nice and bright colors that don't change shades, or you can have it shade if you want. You know, it'll actually go from lighters to darkers depending on how many thrust retraces it's had. Okay, if you want to do that. Now the only thing I don't like about that is that when you put it against like a red background, it changes the colors, because this is basically, to be able to move on this chart, it has the chart colors bleeding through. Okay, that's the one little holdback on it. And I've got the other guy that designed the indicator working on seeing if he can get this actually to float even on the chart like so, and have a white background on it that doesn't bleed through, that we could actually have the shades show through. Now I've got mine set where it's either just solid red or solid green, because I've got it turned up to 1000 right here. Okay, and that gives me a nice bright. Did I just kill my indicator? I think I did. Okay, where'd you go, indicator? Lost it, didn't I? Well, let's go ahead and kill this trade, and what I'll do is I'll restart the chart. We'll just reload it. Bear with it just a second. Some of this can be done by market replay too, because if you stop a chart in the middle of play, it can do some strange things. Let me see if I got my indicator back. Must hit delete. Let me go ahead and go into here and put it back on. Bear with me just a second. Don't lock up Ninja. Okay. Now, you've got PowerMeter back on. Now, one thing about when you see it go gray like this, that just means that there hasn't been enough movement of a bar to kick the other meters in. That's not a flaw. It's just simply the way it's designed. And I'll go ahead and speed it up just a little bit so you'll see it kick in. There we go. They're all kicked in, right? Okay, now if we get some kind of a thrust, I'm going to go ahead and use PowerMeter as a counter trend. Let's see if that'll work. Now, like I say, I would not do it unless you get a good thrust and you get the little retrace when PowerMeter goes red. Let's see if we can get that. Now, we're not in a trade right now. If you want to, we can go ahead and get in a trade. You want to? But it's already hit the area that I would think it would hit, and that's right across here. See where that thrust, retrace thrust? So if I was going to get in this trade, I would probably just go ahead and get in on a bar close. See if that works. Either that or it's going to come down to the ellipse. We'll go ahead and take 3. And we don't want it to go down any further than right here, because that's where it busted up. So I'm getting in, trying to get in like in the middle of this if I can. And I'd love to get in. I think I'm going to take it right there, actually. The reason I'm doing that is because it's coming right back down to support. Okay. Let's see if we can get in a counter trend trade of any kind. And my stop's going to be right underneath where it broke out. Exit on close. See why I did that, by the way? Rather than taking a break out of it, which may not do anything, I just went ahead and took at support. A little better spot to get in. Now, if this doesn't go with me, I'm going to get stopped out fairly quick if this is a double top. But let's see if we can use this. If we get a thrust, this still looks like a strong uptrend to me, at least so far. Let's speed it up. Let's watch PowerMeter. Man, we're in the green. Target's right up here. We'll go ahead and get rid of 2 of them. We'll bring our target out of the way. Not a thrust yet, is it? It's a little bit of a thrust, but not quite enough. See, when this thrusts up, pulls back, you get this little bit of sideways and stuff. They've got to thrust up again. If they'll do that, I will take them. with PowerMeter to the downside. Let's see if it works. It's got to get up higher. It's got to at least get to this ellipse or higher. See what kind of a thrust that would be. Big thrust, little thrust, little thrust. Draw a trend line. Let's see if it'll hit it. Well, it's not going to give us much. Maybe around 90-ish. That's what it looks like to me. So does all green mean a breakout trade is safer to enter? It would mean that, yeah. Now I'm going to take a reversal since it's popped up here. That's a good thrust. I'm going to take a chance and see if PowerMeter will get me in a trade to the downside, and we're going to go for strictly like 10 and 5. Hopefully I can get it. May not get a reversal PowerMeter. This is a little risky. Should go red any second though. Yeah, it turned out, there we go. It just went red. I just hit reverse. Let's see what it does. Oh, look at that. That wasn't too shabby. That wasn't too shabby. Oh, wait a minute. We may be getting a trend change. Where's our trend change on this chart, everyone? Where's our trend change on this chart? I want to show you something else that's kind of cool on this too. Let me show you the actual background with this. If you want to use the background, I won't use it in the room, I don't think, but I can tell what it's doing because, well, I helped design it. Let's see here. We'll get rid of Object Trader background, and we'll use Lightning 3 as the background display. We'll use it in gradient multipliers of about 35. See what it looks like. Yeah, that's the color that you look for pretty much a trend change. So you've got your light, ratchets up, goes darker, ratchets up, goes darker, ratchets up, running out of steam, last color. And we may get a bounce, but if they break this, my Lightning 3, I'm going to actually short it. We'll wait for a close bar, that's fine. Actually, I like touches, not close. I'll do 3. And if we get any kind of a box, we'll go ahead and go back long, as long as it doesn't take out 46. Now our PowerMeter, let's turn it back on. See what we get here. Now notice when I restarted a chart, it always gets rid of Lightning 3 and 4. It's got to get at least a tick. I believe it's closed bar on those. We'll find out. There it is. They're back. All right. See, it's still telling you 3 and 4 are long, but where did we talk about earlier? Remember, it was down here at the time. Now it's down here, isn't it? That's what we look for in that room all the time, is seeing if they'll take out support. Okay. Now, if they do a little pullback, we'll box this in, and we'll take it if it happens to take out midband to the upside. There we go. I'll take a long if it takes that line out to the upside, and I'll take a short if it takes this out to the downside. Too bad I can't turn on Sniper and the region, but I can watch it manually. There we go. We just got a short. Wow, did we get a short? Mercy. Now, where's our trade on this chart? Anybody see it? Do you see a short setting up right now? Where did it just break down? watch the meter. Let's see if the meter goes positive at all. Now remember, it won't go positive on this kind of a thrust. It's going to have to do some kind of a little pullback. So on a trade like this, I would take a short like right here. All right, we'll get these out of the way like that. See how it hit resistance exactly. And let's see if we can get a power meter going positive at all. And then we'll short it again if we get it's not giving it because it's all red. Let's see if we can get any kind of a pullback and get the power meter to turn green. Because that's what you're looking for. Now keep in mind, like I said, this is not an indicator that's just fixes everything, because markets do this a lot. And everybody can see there's no lightning there, right? There's no lightning whatsoever, because lightning is zigzags like that. This is straight down. This is straight back up. Now we may get a power meter that goes green here in a minute. We'll find out. And then we're going to just short it again if it goes red. See if we can get it. We're going to get a power meter up. We'll find out. Still stayed green. Does everybody know why it stayed green? Now I would have shorted it already again, but that's okay. We got 4 in. We're good. Does everybody see why this never went green with lightning? I can show you if you want to. We'll just draw it on the chart. There's no swing there. See your lightning? That's lightning 1. So there's no swing of any kind there whatsoever. Okay, so you're still going to have to look at your support resistance and everything. Where it's going to really help out the most is these areas like this. When it just shoots down like that, lightning says, hey, there's no lightning. I went straight down. My swing is all the way up here. Lightning 1 swing is all the way up here. Now it's right here. Everybody see that? Now it's right here. So if it does take this out, it'll turn green. Let's see if it does. There you go. See it turn green? And then let's see if you turn red again. This is really some sideways stuff right here. See when it turns red. Zigzag, well, we don't have any red yet. This is a good measure of it right here, because this is sideways stuff. Let's see if we can get in a trade. I'm going to get rid of the band. We don't really need it. I'm going to try to do it with market. Well, what's this? Now, if I get in a trade here pretty soon, where's my stop got to be? Above 44 or even 45, right? Still looking for shorts though, aren't we? Power meter 3 and 4 are saying short. What I like about doing these in like real time like this is because it simulates what we call every single day in the room. And we can all make some pretty good coin. There we go. We just got a red. Now I'm taking a chance on this, by the way, because this is pretty sideways. But I'm going to put my stop above that swing. Actually, I'm going to put it above this one right here. And that's 23 ticks. No way. Not there. There. That's fine. When will you get the power meter, John? I'm going to work on it this afternoon. I didn't get a chance to yesterday because of being out. We didn't get back in. You can change the color of the meter box also. You mean the lettering or just the colors? Yeah, you can change the colors of it. What I did, let me just show you real quick because we still got 20 minutes left. Everybody see what I did there though? Now watch PowerMeter 2. If we get a PowerMeter 2, I'm going to add 2. There we go. All right, but keep in mind that my stop's way up here, and this is pretty sideways, so we could be taken out very possibly. Now I'm going to put my stop where do you think? Lightning, right? Now I'm protected a little bit better. We've got some profit. All 4 power meters are short. But let me show you as far as the box colors and things. Yes, you can do that. I'll go ahead and kill this trade. We don't care about it. Let's go ahead and go into the indicator. Yeah, what you can do with this, Alex, on your question, you can choose any color you want. Now, what I'd recommend doing would be to choose a color that you like. And when you change your lighting colors, you don't really want them all the same. That's what I've been kind of toying with here. See, I've got all of mine set on forest green and red. Well, that makes your lightning draw the same. If you know that you want to go for greens or blues for up and reds or magentas or something like that for down, you can always change them, and then these meters will be accordingly. You know, and that's real easy to do. Let's see, we've got lightning 1. Let's see right here, lightning 1. Let's go ahead and change that. Let's say we wanted like a blue, like that, and then instead of a red, maybe like even a dark red, something like that. And then if you wanted, that would be fine in red and green, right? And then remember, lightning 3 we've usually had in this green and yellow. Well, green's an uptrend, but yellow's not really a downtrend, so I'd probably put the yellow in a different color. I don't know, like even a purple, say, something like that. And then lightning 4 we've always had in the navy blue. Yeah, you can change it to anything you want. Where'd my navy go? And we could even do white on this if you wanted to, because we know that's been down before. And then just click OK, and then your power meter will be according to those colors. See the dark red that I did, the regular red. This will be a different one. But also makes it kind of a sissy looking chart with the colors. Sorry about that. But it does. It looks kind of strange to me. You see what I mean? Now, you don't have to actually have, you know, the background on here. We can still use our old background if we want to. What I've liked about this one a little bit is when it does these shades, it gets to this last color. That's pretty much the end, because that's showing you that you've had 1, 2, 3, 4 thrusts. Because the way this was designed was like this: thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace. And pretty soon you get the last one. Now this could run a long time. I've seen it run this color for a long time. But once it breaks it, it doesn't go any higher. You know, it'll finally, and you just got to look at lightning 3 to pretty much take your trade, right? Okay. So yeah, you can change the lightning meter to anything you want. Like I said, that's kind of a weird color to me. I don't like purples. But you can change this to anything you want. This one will be navy as soon as we get it. It should show up any moment. Actually, no, it's white, come to think of it. And that's why it's not showing you don't want to choose white because the letters are white. Okay, so we'd need to change that. But we did design it to where you can do anything you want with it. A consensus of the team, what do you think colors you want to have as your template? Because I'll put out a template with it, and you can choose whatever colors you want after that. But, you know, for simplicity's sake, do you want to leave it green and red? Red down, green up? Yeah, I think so too. Okay, so we didn't change the template, so let's go ahead and just put it back. The only thing is, like I say, and I could have my programmer fix this, would be the lightning colors. We could actually have him change. In other words, this could all be red and green, but when we go to this, we could actually have this be like a different one. The line color could be different, and there could be another set of colors down here. That might even be better, come to think of it. May not be able to get it out this time because I think we want to get this out, don't we? Everybody ready for it? You'd like to have it? All right, so let's see. We just got another rollover. Did everybody see that in real time? That actually went green and it rolled over red. Could you have made some money? Absolutely, you could have made some money. So does everybody think we can use this little dude? Let's see where our trend sets up. You like it? And one of the reasons that I've been wanting this indicator for quite some time, because I show in every webinar where you can see the 4 trends, but why not be able to see it in a little color meter that lets you see what's going on? To give you an example, like if, well, let's see, this is barely taking out the lows down here, so could they be through with this? Well, you want to take a counter trend trade and see? Let's watch PowerMeter. That's a thrust. That was a huge thrust. Retrace, a little bit of a thrust, but let's just go ahead and take a PowerMeter for the fun of it. We'll just do for 10 ticks as soon as it turns green. Now play with this in real time though. Don't put your hard-earned money as of yet, because I've got a lot in this that's not a black box. Okay, I'll show you some of those before we wrap. We may still get it down. That's fine. If we do, we do. But I am going to take it if it changes that PowerMeter. Let's see if it will. I'll show you some of the settings that you can actually do with it too, and we'll go over those a little bit before I do wrap. PowerMeter 1's getting ready to change. There we go. See it? Both PowerMeter 1 and 2 changed. Now, does that mean I won't get stopped out? Nope. But where would my stop be? Well, I'd have to put my stop underneath the swing. And that's 20 ticks. Do I really want to take that kind of a chance with a downtrend? PowerMeter said that it changed up, so I'll take a chance. As soon as it closes above this, if it does, I'll put my stop under here with lightning. Otherwise, I'm going to get nailed. I'll reverse it if it actually goes to PowerMeter 2 also going red. That just wasn't enough of a thrust, was it? Well, maybe. Maybe. I'm trusting lightning on a counter trend trade. There we go. Yep. Little 10 ticker maybe? Maybe. There we go. We got it. So I guess PowerMeter knew something that I didn't. That felt a little bit of heat on that one though. I didn't particularly like that one. Now what's it doing? It's pulling above lightning 3, isn't it? Let's see if we can get a little downtrend before if we head back up. Now so far that's nothing but what? A little rollover, which we should have shorted it. We haven't gotten PowerMeter to even change, unfortunately. Let's see if we can get it to change red. Should be changing red anytime. Not enough lightning strength on it yet. I'd probably have to be in that trade by now myself. Matter of fact, for sure, if it takes out that little swing right there. PowerMeter's still red, green. since it didn't change. We didn't get any kind of a pullback to get green on that one, so I went ahead and took it anyway. Everybody see why it didn't though? Now there's your power meter. This is still somewhat of a downtrend, by the way. See, that just barely took out that 49, just touched it. Now we're still okay. I'm going to go ahead and protect this thing though with lightning right up under there. Whoop, under there. All 4 power meters are green. Power meter 1 just went red. Power meter 2 goes. I'm going to go ahead and short this thing. A little risky, but let's try it. There we go. Couple of nice trades even then. Does everybody see how this could more than likely make a pretty good difference in your trading? I was just using the power meter just then. This looks like it's going to be actually a full-fledged trend change, by the way. If it takes this out right here, it's going to be. Everybody see that taking out the swing right there? Why did I take that? For that reason. Now, let me ask you a quick question on this too. That was probably a little early. If you get a trend change, like say it took out this swing right here at 413, so I'm still happy with this trade, at least for right now. But could you see if this changes trends? Let's see if it does. I don't know if it did or not, but it sure looks like it's going, yeah, it changed trends. All 4. Now, wouldn't that give you, more than likely if this would have given you a green, but it went so fast that because I had it going quickly on the little replay deal, I had it above like 30. But where would this have gone green? It should have gone green right in through here. So that would have been telling you to look for a retracement. That ellipse right there would have told you you're right into resistance, very, very close. You could have shorted it. I mean, it's going to be pretty hard to beat, I think. I think you'll like the feature on it, and you'll be able to do it any way you want as far as the settings on it. Does anybody have any final question? Oh, I know, Doug, and one thing about that, I agree with you. I probably even wouldn't take those trades myself even. I just wanted to see if PowerMeter would know more than I did. And it actually did, didn't it? Because it's looking at those 4 trends. It's looking at like 1, 2, 3, and 4. And by doing that, I was just taking more of a counter trend trade. But the trend on that particular micro trend was down. So that kind of gives you, you know, a really good retracement meter, but it also will give you a little breakout meter for when these things change too. It seems like on a good uptrend and you go red, power meter 1 and 2, that would be a good time for a pullback entry. Absolutely. And that's what I would use it for. Now keep in mind that just like we teach in the room all the time, you want to be looking at these swings too. Okay, remember we were talking about earlier when I showed you the black chart that we had, our trend was here at the time, wasn't it? And then what happened? The market went up some, it pulled back some, it went up some again. And what does it do? It makes these 15 range swings that pretty much tell you when the trade is over. Watch it in real time. Just watch it. See there? Took it out. And that meter would have changed to red at that moment. It would have changed to green up here, obviously, right? And then it would have been flopping around and you could have gotten in some trades here. We took those, as a matter of fact, just a little while ago. So I think it can help. Now keep in mind, we're still going to trade like we always have. You got to mark up your charts just like Charles always teaches in the webinars. You know, if you walk in the room and you see a high here and a low here, well, pretty much it's going to be in that range for a while, isn't it? Let's say that you got up at midnight and you saw this in real time. You mark your charts up, right? And then you look for, matter of fact, if you had marked it up, let's say you got up right in through here. Well, the moment it came back to that top, like that, you could have shorted it, right? Gotten a quick trade. You could have bought it long if it pulls back above the line, which it just did. Got a 10 ticker. You could buy it long again when it pulls back up above the line. Stops right down here. And so you could just trade it in the sideways. Or you don't even have to buy at the bottom because obviously it's a downtrend. You just sell at the top instead. Okay? So just trying to give you some extra tools that'll help you out. And if you like it, you can put it on your charts, and I'll have a template on the website more than likely this afternoon to help you out with it. Anybody have any final questions? We're still about 5 minutes early. Oh, okay, Dave, you want to know it's not anything to do with the distance on the phantom. Let me go ahead and show you that real quick, okay? What you're looking at anytime you get a phantom, okay? Let's say, for instance, that you're green right here. All right, you're looking for first time into phantom between these two lines, okay? That's basically where you're looking for that phantom trade. All right, if you don't get it, it's no big deal because they don't always get them. That's a deep retracement. Now, I always look and say, well, wait a minute, lightning 3, high, low, higher, high. My phantom's way down here. If it breaks this, I'm breaking lightning 3. Do I really want to take that phantom? And the answer is no. Okay, and watch what happens when those phantoms show up like that. That's exactly what happens because that's your low. Okay, but let's look at this next one. Now we have changed trends to a downtrend. See, your mid band has gone from magenta to red. All right, so you're looking for first time into phantom after a trend change. So you just simply put your line here. You put your line here. That's line 6 and line 7. Okay, any higher than this and you're going to be heading back up. Yeah, it's just simply that distance right there. There's 6 ticks between those two lines. And you watch it, you watch it, you watch it. See it hit it perfectly. It also, you look to the left to trade the right, you see a little swing right there, and you just take the trade. Do they come back up and check them second time? Lots of times they do. But that's first time into phantom after a trend change. And with the first time into phantom after a trend change, you're actually wanting to get at least to the mid band, and then you're trying to get down to the previous swing. You got your mid band, so you're still in your 1. Still in your 1, right? Because your lightning swing's way up here. And if you get taken out, you didn't see it hit the swing. Still hitting the swing, sideways as it can be, and down she went and she got your next target. Okay? But always be conscious on your charts of where they'll change trends, because when they take out those areas that are lightning 3s, they're going to be going the other direction. Let's see, Adam says, Gary, on a downtrend, for example, if you're getting a pullback, what is the difference between getting PowerMeter 1 green first or PowerMeter 2? Well, keep in mind that PowerMeter 1 and 2 are virtually very similar. Let me just draw them on the chart for you. We'll go back here where it's nice and steppy. Is that a word, steppy? Probably not. All right, let's go ahead and draw lightning 1. That's your lightning 1. Okay? Now, memorize this just up to here. All right, see your little zigzag and then it breaks. Zigzag and it breaks, okay? Lightning 2, on the other hand, is a little stronger trend, but not much. See there? That has to wait for at least 2 candles to form. It can't just do it on these little onesies. Okay? That's that second meter right there. All right, so see, when it breaks this swing, like right across here, that's when that one would have changed. Where would the other one have changed, though? Let's draw it. That was straight up, so it wouldn't have changed to the same spot on that one. Everybody see that? Because lightning 1 didn't change either in this little area. Okay? But notice when you broke that lightning 2 right there, it pretty much headed down too. Lightning 1, to give an example, let's say that you were trading lightning 1 and you just wanted to short lightning 1. Well, you'd be watching it. There's a swing. If it broke down below that swing, you'd be taking a short. Didn't break it. So then you take it to the next level like this. If it goes up again, this is your level. See, like that? Goes up again, and then it broke it. See right there? That's why I designed this way, because this is going to help a lot of people see some really quick trend changes and get you in on good retracement trades. Okay? Let's see, magenta horizontal band to top, green horizontal band distance, Dave. Oh, on that, let me just show you that. Bear with me a second. Let me get rid of lightning 1 and 2. All right, your bands are actually, let me just go to a webinar teachings chart so you can see it a little clearer. And I'm going to hide predictor, and I'm going to put on the dynamic trend. All right, and let me get rid of the predictor. And I'll get rid of lightning 1 and 2 also. We don't need those for this illustration. And 4, just strictly, and we don't need the predictor. Uh-oh. It's not doing my chart right because we don't have any data going. Let me kick it up. Maybe that'll get it, maybe not. When they start doing this like this, you've usually got to restart Ninja because I've fooled it into something. That's okay. I'll go ahead and do a separate chart like this one. That's fine. Hide the predictor and load that indicator. We'll leave these on because what we're doing is we're trying to load a chart with no data on whatsoever that's moving. And a lot of our indicators are designed to be moving with MTFs and all that. There we go. We'll just leave it like this. Dave, on your question, what this is right here, let's just go from here to the top. Each one of these bands is exactly 6 ticks. So there's 6, 6, 6, 6, that's 4 of them, and then 4 more on the top. So 8 times 6 is 48, right? So there's 48 ticks in this little range right here. Now, when we're looking at phantoms, though, we're looking at these, like this. And let me draw another line here and here. Okay, so basically you're looking for this little 6-tick area right here, which is actually, well, basically, if you've got 0 to 6 and then 6 to 12 and so on, this is 24 in the middle, right? So this is actually 30 and then 36. So between here and here, that's 36 to 42, and then from there to there is 48. But this is these areas, these sweet spots that we look for phantoms. Short, naturally, because we're looking at what? We're looking at retracements, right? Let me kick a little box in there. And then we're looking for longs down here, but not when this is red. So in other words, when this is red, like this, or magenta, which this simply means magenta is short, red just means it's taken out the low for the day. That's really all that means when that changes over. Now on the other side, this starts out with like a lime green and it goes to blue if you happen to get higher session highs, okay? But let's go back over here. So what you're looking at is the first time into this phantom area after a trend change, this area here, that's a short. If it ratchets down, you can look one more time, but it's a more risky trade because at some time or another, it's going to change trends again. Okay, so first time in after a trend change, you're looking for that trade right in through here, right in between those two lines right there. And you basically box it in. Okay, if there's a predictor that shows up there, you know, like down here, for instance, on a long and up here for a short, but keep in mind, don't ever take a long at the bottom when this is red because that could be nothing but You get in here and this thing goes all the way down to here. You're not doing that. This is your short area, this is your long area, but only when the trend has changed. This is red here, so this is your high here. That's your retrace rollover. If you were long, let me see if I can find a good long area. Yeah, like right in through here to give an example. See, this went from magenta to the green. So you're looking for first time into this area down here, or even when it goes green, you're looking for any retracements into phantom. So naturally, you just put your lines down in the areas. And as it moves up, you just keep moving up with it. Like on the side of the chart it's at right now, you'd be looking like that little area right there for a bounce. Okay? And if you look at it on the actual live chart, let me real quickly turn a chart live. Bear with me one second. We'll look at that same area. You seeing what I mean by that then? Magenta horizontal band to top green horizontal band distance. Magenta horizontal band to green. That's exactly 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Okay? And this 6 here. All you got to do is count 48 from bottom, line 0, line 1, line 2, 3, 4 is the mid band, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So 8 times 6 is 48. So the distance from here to here is minus 12, right? So it'd be 36. Because 48 would be the overall. These shadowed areas right here are pretty much telling you when it really breaks even more to the upside or downside. For instance, if you had you're going up like this and all of a sudden you're still going up, see how it's ratcheting up? You're still going up a little bit, still going up, right? A little bit, still going up. See how the bands actually keeps going up, and then what does it do when it starts breaking? It actually starts heading down. And that's what happens when you get these trend changes, is that this actually starts literally breaking down and you get these nice moves down. And then you've got to go what you're looking for. See, it heads down instead until it does the difference and heads back up. See how each time this shadow goes lower? Even the top shadow goes lower. But that's still that exact same distance of 48 between those two bands from here to here. But we're looking at the sweet spot here and here. Because you'll find that most times that's where they'll hit their head. That's about an 85% probability trade for a short right up in this area right here, if you've got a mid band that's red. And just the opposite for the long. Why 6-tick bands? Well, really, just because it works. I mean, it works quite well. We've used this for quite some time now. And see how the trends change? And then they'll go back. See how it drops? I mean, you could actually just trade these, truthfully. You know, there are people that put Object Trader to give an example, and if it breaks down below, here, they're short. See what I mean? Now, you don't want to go the opposite long because you're still in a downtrend at the time. Or, well, this is an uptrend, so you're in a downtrend now. And then you do the opposite, if you want to, that is. And as soon as it starts heading back up, you can actually take it up. Or you can put your long in, above here. You'll find out that it'll break to the upside too. But it's just a good way to have bands so that you can see the pricing and pretty much tell with the colors that we put on the chart and things like that what's actually happening in real time. And what I added this PowerMeter for is so we can all watch for these nice retraces. To give an example, even on this chart right at this very moment, if you retraced up into here, your PowerMeter would be green, green, and more than likely red and red. And then you'd be looking for those sweet spot trades and sweet spot trades. Because lots of times, and always keep an eye on your Lightning 3 too, because Lightning 3 is going to draw in real time. That's Lightning 4 actually there. We don't have Lightning 3 on. but you'll always have it to where you'll be able to tell which direction that trend's going. Let's see, Doug says, I have a question on my charts. Lightning 1, 2, and 4 are working perfectly, but my Lightning 3 does not work with the proper keystroke, but it pops up all the time when I click on my chart. We have run into that problem, and it has not been solved just yet. But what the deal is for some reason, control key, the way NinjaTrader uses control, we may have to change that key away from control is what it amounts to. But if you actually click the control key, it'll usually work again fine as long as that hadn't been clicked. I usually click it twice when I take it off. I could see about switching it. Not very many people use the trailing stops on Object Trader. We could switch it to control and the Lightning 4 to the space bar and see if that would solve it. I could do that myself. I know how to do that. Okay, everybody enjoyed the webinar? I hope so. I tried to make it as informative as possible and also explain the new indicator. But I think you're going to like the new indicator because you're going to find out, like at those opens and things like that, you know, don't get whipsawed around when the trend is actually in your favor. But if they go breaking those Lightning 3s, to give an example, you know, take a shot at them because it's amazing, you know, how accurate they really are. I mean, I showed that when we opened the room, and did that chart actually, when it broke that 46 area, didn't it just break like crazy? Well, that was the difference in your stair stepping up. It was like, you know, going up a set of stairs to meet a friend and then going back down those stairs. You were going from an uptrend to a downtrend. All right, I hope it was eye-opening. Thanks. Anybody have any final questions? I will work on this and try to get it for everybody this weekend. I will go ahead and play around with the space bar for Lightning and see if that makes a difference, because control for some reason is a special key, and I'm sure it's doing some weird stuff in the background. Space bar not so much. Okay? Thanks everyone for coming. Hope you enjoyed it. And am I using the PowerMeter at the open? Absolutely. Keep in mind at the open though, MG, on your question, we're looking for momentum type trades. You know, we take some scalp trades if it's sideways. We take some, you know, good momentum breakouts and things. I mean, you don't want to just be sitting like a deer in the headlights because, you know, you've got 4 trends on that chart. You don't have to break all 4 of them to change directions. You know, the 4 trends on that chart are Lightning 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, Lightning 1, of course, is more for retracing. Lightning 3, though, when it gets broken, it's pretty much changing trends. Lightning 4 is huge. You don't want to wait for it. I mean, you're looking at a 12-range chart then. All right, again, thanks everyone for coming. We'll put this up as the educational webinar on the PowerMeter. And when you get it, just play around with it, play around with the colors, things like that, the opacities and all that, and see what you think. Have a great day, and we'll see you on Monday.